The video opens with a sweeping aerial shot of the Pacific Ocean at dawn. Waves roll endlessly, their crests catching the first light of the rising sun. Mist drifts low across the horizon, and the vast emptiness feels both beautiful and terrifying. The silence of the sea stretches infinitely, unaware of the extraordinary struggle of survival taking place upon its surface. The camera cuts closer, and through the endless blue we glimpse a small lifeboat, fragile, adrift, and defiant against the immensity of the ocean. Inside sits a boy, Pai Patel. His clothes are tattered, his face weathered by sun and salt, eyes deep with exhaustion and determination. And at the other end of the boat, almost impossibly, a Bengal tiger named Richard Parker rests, breathing slow and heavy. The story begins years earlier, in Pondicherry, India. Pai, curious and spiritual, grew up exploring faith and philosophy while helping his family run a zoo. But when his family decides to emigrate to Canada, they board a Japanese cargo ship with their animals. It is a journey of hope, a search for a new life, until fate intervenes in the darkest way. One night, the sea rages with a violent storm. Rain lashes down, lightning splits the sky, and the ship groans against the fury of the ocean. Amid the chaos, Pai rushes to the deck, only to witness the unimaginable, the cargo ship sinking into the black waters. In minutes, his family, his past, everything he has known is swallowed by the abyss. Pai finds himself cast away, alone, with only a few animals that also escape the wreck. The lifeboat becomes a world of its own. A desperate hyena, a wounded zebra, and an orangutan named Orange Juice share the space. But soon, the brutal truth of survival reveals itself. Nature's law is merciless. The hyena kills, chaos reigns, until the tiger emerges. Richard Parker, fierce and unstoppable, claims his place. And suddenly, it is Pai and the tiger, the most unlikely of companions, left to face the vast Pacific. Days blur into weeks. The sun burns, the nights freeze, the waves rise like mountains. Hunger gnaws, thirst torments, and hope flickers. Pai improvises, building makeshift rafts, learning to collect rainwater, fishing with trembling hands. Every breath becomes a lesson in resilience. And always, across from him, Richard Parker watches, both a threat and a reason to live. The boy learns to coexist with the beast. Fear turns into fragile respect. Pai discovers that in caring for Richard Parker, he also saves himself. Each roar, each hungry stare, forces Pai to remain alert, to endure, to keep going. The tiger, once his greatest danger, becomes his greatest companion. Together, they drift through storms, survive the blazing sun, and navigate the merciless emptiness of the ocean. The lifeboat drifts endlessly. At times, the sea turns calm, like glass stretching to eternity. At others, towering waves rise, threatening to crush both boy and beast. Whales breach nearby, glowing plankton illuminates the night, and the ocean reveals its strange, haunting beauty. Pai witnesses both wonder and terror, moments that test his faith and his sanity. But survival is cruel. His body weakens, his spirit falters. In the darkest hours, Pai questions everything: God, destiny, life itself. And yet, he clings to hope. He prays, he endures, and he refuses to surrender. After 227 days adrift, land finally appears. Mexico's coastline rises from the horizon, unreal and miraculous. Exhausted, half-conscious, Pai drags himself to the shore. Richard Parker, the tiger who had been his constant shadow, his torment and salvation, slips silently into the jungle without a glance back. Their bond ends as wordlessly as it began. Pai survives, but he is changed forever. Rescued and questioned, he tells his story to investigators who doubt the presence of the tiger. Was Richard Parker real, or a creation of Pai's desperate mind, a symbol of his own primal instinct to survive? The truth remains uncertain. But what is undeniable is Pai's endurance, his courage, and his will to live when the world had abandoned him. The video slows, showing the empty ocean once again. The sun glimmers across the water, waves rolling endlessly, indifferent yet eternal. The narrator's voice returns, calm and reflective. Some stories are more than survival. They are meditations on faith, courage, and the bond between man and nature. Pai Patel's journey reminds us that strength is often found in the most unlikely places. That even in isolation, companionship, real or imagined, can save us. And that survival is not only about enduring the storm, but finding meaning in its aftermath. The music swells, haunting and hopeful, as the camera fades to black. Text appears. Would you have endured the endless ocean? Could you face fear itself and still hold on to hope? This is not just the story of a boy and a tiger. It is the story of survival, faith, and the resilience of the human spirit. The screen fades to silence, leaving only the soft sound of waves against the shore.